Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're round it. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, some days you wake up and nothing works, you feel surrounded. Gotta give your feet some gravity to get you grounded. Keep good things inside your ears just like the waves and sound it. And just say whatever, cause there is no way you're grounded. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
It is a super Sunday. Welcome, Sonder family. It's so good to see you and welcome you to your weekly setup for the first week of a new month. We're welcoming in the month of July. And oh, Andrea, happy anniversary. Is there anyone else who is having a Sonderversary? Be sure to let us tell you happy anniversary in the chat. And also tomorrow is Maya's Sonderversary. I love it. And speaking of Maya, Maya is my co-pilot this evening. She will be looking at that chat and she popped on to give you guys a wave. She's coming to us from Colorado and she will be providing any kind of support you might need in the chat. And if she's not able or I'm not able to help you out, we will direct you to hello@silkandsonder.com. Maya and I are contractors, so we don't have headquarters, the privy to all the stuff at headquarters. So we might not be able to we can help to certain extents, in other words. And my name is Jennifer Ogilvy. I think I forgot to say that. I'm coming to you from the very hot Dallas area in Texas. We're like 101. My husband is in Central Texas today. It's 107. We're all like, the weather's wacky. Some folks have really cool weather. Some folks, we're dying. Anyway, really glad to welcome you. So who is here for the very first time? You've got your brand new journal and you decided to check us out. Drop a me in the chat so we can give you a welcome. You will be off camera. We're all off camera except for me. Kathy's saying she's new. Shayna, is it Shayna? Shayna, Susan. Okay, I'm seeing some new names. Yeah, mics are off. Cameras are off, so you're always welcome to come as you are and participate as you are comfortable in the chat. These weekly setups and those monthly setups are sort of, consider it your accountability group. Sometimes, you'll get a journal, you start off and you want to go strong, and then things taper off, right? But if you make an appointment with yourself by attending a weekly setup, your Sonder family, this wonderful Sonder community is waiting for you to lift you up. You know, we kind of hold each other accountable, but we also give each other grace. And so I highly recommend making this part of your Silk and Sonder journey. Silk and Sonder community is the best community ever. So let's dig in for our setup. I want to, of course, give that shout out to the stickers because these are still relatively new in our Silk and Sonder world. And I have seen people on our Silk and Sonder app in Sonder Club say, you know, this is actually a game changer. It's helping me make good use of my pages. I'm quicker on my pages. I'm tracking more. They've added this novelty. So perhaps if you're curious, you could treat yourself and check out either the matchy fun stickers that will go with your journal colors, or that bottom picture that you see there is that kind of evergreen sticker set that can be used in any of the journals. The colors are all very similar and designed to sort of match in. But anyhow, so there's the stickers. Love them. I am not a sticker person, but I have been using some stickers from Silk and Sonder, and I'm liking it. When we gather together, whether we are in the Sonder Club, that app, or we're together here, we have these community guidelines, and we always like to post them to remind you that our intention is to always create the most safe, uplifting, just, cozy community. So we keep things we try to keep things in a very positive light. We tell you, come as you are, bring who you are at that moment to the Sonder Social. It's okay if you're having a bad day. Let us know, let us uplift you. It's okay if things are going really great. Don't feel guilty about having fabulous days. Just come as you are and be kind and courteous to one another always. So I'm really excited about digging into curiosity. Of course, our definition is that it's a strong desire to learn or know something. And I am an early retiree, and I always change one of my monthly intention boxes to learnings because I think it is so important to always keep that lifelong learning mentality. So I'm very excited about curiosity, and I hope you are too. And of course, we've got this great quote: be curious, not judgmental. And it has kind of been made popular again because it was on Ted Lasso, and it's been attributed to Walt Whitman. But I actually investigated. I got curious, and there really isn't a source known who said to be curious and not judgmental. So I've already kicked that off this month. But I think that's a really good way to frame things out. Brene Brown always says it's hard to hate people up close, right? Just be curious about them and life. And then, of course, as a retired early childhood person, I immediately thought Curious George. And this was from a blog that I stumbled across. And Maya is going to drop that link in the chat if you want to go check it out later. But it is a mom wrote about the lessons that her children learned from Curious George. And I thought they were great things that we can embrace, that curiosity is contagious. There's an adventure around every corner. Start your day with that mindset. Always be grateful for others. Curiosity can be messy. Love that. And finally, life is a party. So I wanted to share that. You'll probably see that slide at all of my setups this month because I think it's kind of fun. So our agenda today, we're going to work on our mind map. And this week, this is not July 1st or the first one of July. So you're going to have 4 prompts about curiosity for July. So you'll want to set that up. I'll explain the mind map in a little more detail, but this week is a bonus. So you can do it anywhere, right? It's a little extra special by itself question. We're going to work on that. We're going to do our rosebud thorn reflection and then do our weekly setup pages. All righty. So Mind map. If you are here for the first time, one of the bonuses of coming to a weekly setup is that you get a bonus prompt every single week, and it is going to be focused on the theme of the month. And so for all of July, each weekly setup is going to have a prompt for you to consider about curiosity. A lot of folks like to set that up on a notes page. You might want to reserve a page for that. But since we kind of had 5 weekend setups in June, because technically are still in June, we are going to add a fifth week's worth of a bonus question for you. So this can be done anywhere, a scratch pad, an extra piece of paper. If you have any space left in your June journal, you might want to do it there. But what we're considering is when you first subscribed to Silk and Sonder, what were your biggest hopes for how it would impact your life? And then with that consideration, think about, are there some adjustments that you could make now to get even more out of your journal experiences in the coming months? And I know we have some new Sonder family members with us. So just kind of think about like what you're hoping to get from these journals and from being part of the Sonder community. I think that's for me the biggest thing is realizing how connected I could become with like-minded people as I use this tool to better my life. So some things to consider, maybe like what sparked your interest or what was the first thing that made you notice Silk and Sonder? Was it an Instagram ad? Did it do a pop-up in your social feeds? Or did you have a good friend recommend it to you? Um, and so maybe there are things now that you're doing that you didn't even realize at first, and you can kind of think about, have things changed since you started? Have you done more digging in? Are you feeling like you're more productive, more reflective? What has it brought into your world? Think about what other things have come to fruition since starting your journal. Did your hopes change or were they reinforced? Perhaps you've noticed some internal changes. And, has anybody noticed, like coworkers, friends, loved ones, if they, "Hey, you seem happier," or, "You brought something real, where did you learn about that?" Have folks noticed that in your life? And you can also, if you've been with us, go back and think about the past few themes that we've had this year. And is there something, that you took away from each month? And so I want to definitely give a shout out to our other facilitator, one of our other facilitators, Katie, who came up with those great questions. I thought they were wonderful. So let's take just a moment to do this reflection, and I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. thank you for taking a moment to consider your Silk and Sonder journey. And for those of you who shared in the chat, thank you so much. I feel like Maya and I might need to just grab all of those and send them into headquarters because your stories are so amazing. And I think we all realize how, I shared as a early retiree, I floundered. I just lost my rhythm and routine. I'd been an administrator and my days were so structured in my career. And I floundered when I retired. I couldn't figure things out. And it just really helped me get back on track. I appreciate you sharing all those beautiful things. You're so inspiring. And I'm so proud to just be part of this community with you. So let's take a really quick look now. This is our last piece of work in our journal for June. If you are brand new here, you can do this reflection on a scrap piece of paper or perhaps in your weekly scratch pad. But every week we do take a moment to do our rosebud thorn reflection for the week. We celebrate what the week brought us by calling them our roses. What made you happy? What are you proud of? What were the things that were inspiring to you? The buds are things that might be in the works, things that are blossoming, things that are coming your way. And then the thorns are what didn't go so well. And so I'll share mine really quickly, then I'll put on a little bit of music while you work on yours. Um, Oh my goodness. I ended up my bud last week. The thing I was looking forward to was having some friends come into town and stay with me. And I ended up with something stomach-y yesterday, and I got so sick and I wasn't able to see any of my people. So that was definitely my thorn. My bud, it's kind of hard to see. I dropped a picture in of a backhoe right outside of my window. The reason it's a bud is that we have not had access to our garage and our driveway for months because they're replacing the alley, and I was told that maybe this week we could see some access happening. I think we're getting close to concrete, so that's my bud so that I can use my house like I used to use it. And then, my rose, I'm so excited because I've done this every year since I've been, on my Silk and Sonder journey. I created my birthday week bingo, and I am so excited to start digging in this week. So share in the chat, the things that you are looking forward to this week, and I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. joy. You guys are celebrating some amazing roses. Thank you for sharing as you were comfortable. It's okay if you don't want to share. Don't feel like you don't have to. But thank you. Some of you really shared some heavy things, and I'm proud of you for celebrating the roses, within the hard things. And then we all as a community, when you share those things that are really tough, just know that somebody's reading it somewhere out there, in Sonder Club, and that there are other people there to help carry those burdens and those thorns. And that you're not alone when you're part of this Sonder community. That's what makes this so special. I'm so glad to see so many familiar names in the chat as well. So keep coming back so that you can get to know some of these amazing people. Alrighty, so now it is time to set up our weekly planner. So you're going to want to close that June journal and pick up your July journal, and let's get going with our weekly setup. Just a couple of fun quotes to sort of frame this out. There are 7 days in the week, and someday isn't one of them, right? It's now. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's have a great week. Think left, think right, and think low and think high. Oh, the things you can think if you only try. I thought that was a fun little framing for curiosity. This week there's a lot of fun stuff happening. Of course, it's our country's birthday, so the 4th of July means that some of you may actually get some extra time off. But there are some fun ways of celebrating this week. If you're looking to kind of lean into embracing each day, I'm going to suggest that if you see something you like, get your screenshot keys ready and grab a screenshot. Or I always say I sit with my phone and I will, grab a actual picture because I'm old. I don't know. I figured anyway, and then I can go back and look at it later if there's something that speaks to you. Now, you are invited to use the pages in your journal just as they are. You don't have to change anything up. But our Sonder family has shared so many neat ways to repurpose these spaces, and I have some examples to share with you this evening. So the first thing we're going to do is think about how you want to feel this week. What what does your week look like? And like when you're sitting here a week later reflecting back on your roses and buds and thorns, what feeling do you want to conjure up for the week? Now, it is my birthday week, and thank you for those greetings. Mine is I want to feel celebrated. And so that's the word that I put on my week 27. I would love to know kind of what you're thinking for the week. I'm seeing Denise is already thrown in there. I want to feel energized. So, yes, and it's kind of hard with this hot weather. Peaceful, grateful, successful, feel lighthearted, feel joyful, accomplished. You've got some goals to set, peace and calm, committed, relaxed, joy. I love it. Leaning into the theme curious. That's why I put that word right over there on the left. I love it, Katrina. Cheryl and Katrina are going to grab onto curious. Oh, we want to feel courage and productive and hydrated. That's so important right now. Good job. Empowered to change. Okay, you guys have this. Now, you might want to just stick with what word you've been using. Productive shows up a lot for me because that's how I'm wired. Fruitful, I used fruitful, I think, for the whole month of June. So this doesn't have to change from week to week. Just think about what you need for that particular time. And it might be your month. Maybe you use your word of the year. Maybe you have a word of the year and you're popping that in there every single week. So now with that mindset, we're going to look at those weekly 3 major goals. And while we're setting those goals, I want you to think about this little habit. Ask yourself, does this support the life I'm trying to create? So, whatever you're putting in those goals for this week, does it truly support the life that you want to create? Now, there's lots of ways to do this. We just did our monthly setup, or maybe you're going to be doing that in the next day or so. Um, Go ahead and look at those intentions that you set. And are there ways to formulate your goals from those intentions that are on page 9? Maybe you set your goals through that lens of exploring curiosity in your life, or look at previous weeks. Um, of your journals that, maybe there's some things that you want to bring forward because they're outstanding. Lots of ways to do like a personal challenge. So maybe a lunch prep challenge, and you're going to set your goals around that, or fitness, or decluttering, or self care. And then I'm a big fan of taking things away from our life that are not serving us, because we are so good, I believe, at loading our plate and taking on too much. And so I think, we need to lean into no is an answer, a complete sentence. And what do we need to eliminate? So maybe those can be your goals, those no goals. So let me show you some examples. And then there's ways to repurpose that. If you don't want to set goals, that's okay. Maybe you're just going to lean into your habits and your intentions. You can use this space for other things like quotes, TV shows you want to watch. Maybe you want to embrace, the days of summer, songs of the week. Create a routine tracker here. So now let's move forward. If you're going to do some goals, again, how will they support your week, and what is your why? And remember, you don't have to set 3. Maybe you only set 1 goal this week. You know what life is bringing you. And I know that often when Meha attends our weekly setups, Meha, our founder, she'll say, can I have 4 or 5? She's a go-getter. And so you need to take what you need for your week and your journal. So just that reminder. So here are some examples from our Sonder family. I love the one there that you see where it says the weekly goal, meditate often, and then it says why, and then stay positive at work. Why? So really leaning into and embracing that why you're choosing that for your week. It's intentional. You've put a lot of power into it when you put it on paper. Here's some other ones. You can divide this up. You can see that there's 3 categories over there on the right. You've got body, work, and mind. And then there are some kind of little to-dos under each one of those for that goal to happen. And then I love sharing this one because you can see how do they want to feel is there. And then their 3 major goals is actually 1 major goal. And that major goal is to unplug. And then they've created this little grid below it. And I want to show you what they've done. They're tracking their unplugging down in that habit and activity tracker. And so they've put unplug there. They're going to track that every day. And then they're drawing that arrow back up to their menu of things that they can do to unplug. It's just a way for them to feel like they are holding themselves accountable. And then let's look at those to-dos. Speaking of the to-dos, and I love that this person in their to-do list kind of wrote themselves some questions. What are the 3 most important tasks of the day in the coming week? Where can you schedule a time for rejuvenation or refilling your energy up? And what's the smallest possible step forward you can take to see momentum and connect with your why? Love those questions. If you like them too, grab a screenshot. And I'll go back and forth between all these slides while we work on these 2 sections together. I want to speak to the Pomodoro method, give you just a little insight into this, because a lot of Sonder family uses this technique when they're thinking of their to-do list. So Pomodoro means tomato in Italian, and it comes from those little cute tomato timers that you would have in your kitchen. And so the person who invented this technique named it the Pomodoro method. And what it is it's a way of taking your day and breaking your work time into 25-minute sessions. And you set a 25-minute timer and you work for 20 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. Or I guess you would set the timer for 20 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. And then you kind of reevaluate and you do it again. You repeat it again. And you can see the format of how this is. You do the 25-minute focus work session. And then that 20-minute break is after you do 4 of these sessions. I'm sorry. And so I love doing this. I set 25 minutes on my timer, I go tackle something like maybe it for me, my closet, right? And I work really hard for 25 minutes. Take that 5-minute break. If I didn't get everything done, go back for 25 more minutes. Do another 5 minutes and do that on repeat and then give yourself a good chunk of break. This is a really good way to break up your day at work as well. Maya and I were talking. For some reason, we both work really well under the duress of a timer going off. Like there's that motivation. So wanted to share that technique with you. There's the Eisenhower matrix. We love to see these get put in that to-do list. It is a way if you have a really long to-do list, you can plug your things in as to how important and urgent they are, all the way down to the not important and not urgent. You may have things on your list that are maybe urgent, but they're not important. So they could be delegated. And when you divide your list up like this, it just helps you kind of get that prioritization going so that you really keep your eye on the prize and getting the main things done. The need, want, hope to do list is a great way to section your list off and kind of break out your week into the things that need to be done, the things that you want to do, and then those things that you hope to do. And then here's some great ways of, again, setting up that to-do list, self, home, and others, kind of breaking it down into the sections in your life, morning and evening routines here, wants and needs. Lots of people love making a bingo, like you see there on the bottom right. It's just fun to gamify it. And then I just think it's so much fun. If you got this, if you're a sticker gal, put those stickers in there to embrace those fun to-do lists. You can also take this space and use it in a repurposed way. I leave mine blank and use it as a ta-da space and write my to-dos go, let me go back. My to-dos go on my Monday through Friday spread. I make my to-dos for each day. But the extra things I do, I put on a ta-da list and celebrate them. You might want to create a to don't list, primarily if maybe there are some things you're working on, like negative self talk, and you want to really make sure you've put power into that by writing it on paper. Perhaps you have a to be list. How do you want to be this week? And then finally, you could make a dread list of all the things that you've been avoiding, all those to dos, and then put that to work with a Pomodoro technique and knock that thing out this week. So I'm going to stop talking and put on some music while you work on these two sections, our weekly goals and our to-dos. Let us know, do you use them as they are? Do you repurpose? And then share your goals and some of your to-dos and how you celebrate that. And I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. Absolutely, Nathania, you nailed it. If you guys are ever in a slump with your journal and you're like, "Oh, I made a commitment and I'm feeling not so great about what I'm doing," post in Sonder Club and let us give you that boost. Thanks for that call out, Nathania. I think that is so important to remember that, you're not alone. You've got your Sonder people. So now we're going to drop down to the bottom of that page. This is our habit and activity section. And um, the difference between these, that monthly tracker tends to be the things that we want to do every single day. We're going to attempt to do that big tracker wheel. Those are kind of those dailies, but the weekly one is awesome because it can be set up for the week you're going to have, right? Maybe your turn to pick up, the kids are Tuesdays and it's Tuesday and Thursday. And so you put that in here and maybe circle the Tuesday, Thursday as that mental reminder. You don't need to do it all 7 days. So that weekly tracker can be kind of made to work for the week that you're going to have. And it is okay to have the same habits show up on your monthly tracker as well as your weekly tracker. One of my weekly trackers is to check monthly habit tracker. So I put that in my in the little space under habit and activity. The first one says check monthly tracker because I want to make sure I'm opening those pages and looking at them. Here are some examples from Sonder Family. You do not have to fill out every line. Notice the one at the upper right. They're choosing to look at 3 things this week. You do not have to assign a goal number to these. You can just plain track when something happens. You can just color code when it happens, like you see down there at the bottom. There's not a goal, but there are just little stickers that are going to go on the days when those things happen. You can kind of make it fun, like you see the bottom middle there. It's kind of a countdown. So you're going to do something 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, all the way down to 1. So it's really whatever works for you. Also, if you have something that's gonna happen, like look at like the one at the bottom says days without sugar. Maybe you're gonna plan that for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so you might want to draw a circle around Monday, Wednesday, and Friday so that you remember that those are the days you're shooting for that goal. And then there are some feel good habits and activities if you are trying to figure out how to set this space up. I'm going to put on a little music and I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. right. Good job working on those habits and activities for the week. It's going to be a great week. Now, and I didn't say it out loud, but I always forget. Maya coined the word habities, and it was an accident, and it was a wonderful accident. I love thinking of those habits and activities as our habities. Y I know, right? Our Silk& and Sonder, it's branding, it's exclusive to Silk& and Sonder. So let's go now to our second page of our weekly setup, and we're gonna start with that meal plan. And I'll go through all the sections on this page and then give you a chunk of time to work on it. Now, this page, I do know, tends to get a lot of repurposing. So I'm gonna show you lots of examples that our Sonder community has done to make the sections work for them. Perhaps you don't, track your want to do your meal plan, but you love those good spaces. So you're repurposing for something else. I've got a whole list of some ideas that you could grab for not only the meal plan, but also for the mind body health plan or to pop into that shopping list. All of these can kind of go everywhere on this page, but I know a lot of you do set these sections up, maybe with some repurposing. So here are some examples that you can see from our Sonder community. Love the idea of reflection on this week I learned in that meal plan. And then mindful moments or embracing the idea of reflecting every day on something. It's called glad, and it's something that brought you gratitude, something you learned, something you accomplished, and something that delighted you. That's awfully fun. And then again, here's a ton more other ideas. I thought it was brilliant when someone started doing a meal plan for my soul. And so that became more of an internal reflective place rather than tracking actual food. You can absolutely for track food, track macros, plan your meal, use it in that way. A lot of times I use mine for leftovers. And then the mind body health plan. I love this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt: life must be lived and curiosity kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. So, what are you doing for your mind and body health and not turning your back on life? Perhaps you set this small section up as a little reflection piece where you do a self esteem journal. Here is an example of what that could look like. And again, I'll go back and forth between these slides, and this is being recorded, so you will be able to access this probably sometime tomorrow if you wanted to go back and look at any of these slides. Lots of folks love to do alliteration in one of these sections on this page. So, stuff like Motivation Monday or Mother Nature Monday, meatless Monday. So that's just kind of a fun way to set your days up and be intentional with that. We also have the 7 kinds of rest that are super, important for you to know about because we just think, "I need rest." Well, maybe it's beyond needing to go to bed earlier. Maybe you need rest from certain aspects of your life, and so you can see there is physical rest, mental, creative, emotional, sensory, social, spiritual. And so a lot of Sonder family will take one kind of rest for each day of the week and plug it in here and kind of think, okay, today is my social rest day. And what does that look like? I'm going to either take a break from socializing or I'm going to seek out those positive people in my life. And that's how you do that. Or perhaps physically you are worn out. And so you're going to focus only on physical rest. And then this space maybe becomes the way you do that each day. How will I incorporate an earlier bedtime, more restful sleep? Maybe I do a yoga practice instead of running and give my body that physical rest that it needs. So a good way to have a mindset around that mind body health. And then, love this slide. If you're not on the Silk& and Sonder Instagram, I highly recommend that you follow because you will receive content like what you see there on the right. It's just wonderful. 4 types of self-care and how to practice them. That's a great thing to put into this mind body health space. Love this, the I feel and I need reflection, which can be done at the start of your day, at the end of your day, maybe both, but you really evaluate how you're feeling and what is that telling you what you need. Really leaning into paying attention to what you need to be your best self. And then love that someone is just making a little grid over there with a meditation time and a movement time every day. And that's kind of a tracker that they've created for themselves. And then here's another way you can do 7 positive things to try this week. And that's kind of a fun thing to do. You know, Monday is self-care, Tuesday is clean, Wednesday is digital detox. Focus on Thursday is a delete, and then maybe that's the day you go through your old messages and emails. And then a ton of ways to repurpose our shopping list here. Quotes. I tend to put a bingo here. This is where my birthday bingo is this week. But we do, again, that those little grids are a lot of fun, and you can see how folks have turned it into a chore chart, bills, a packing list, maybe a little self-care bingo. And then finally, that last space is I am loving. What are you loving right now, this very moment? And when I was looking for fun quotes about being curious, I found the Dr. Seuss quote that you see there. And that is what I happen to be loving right now. So I'm going to stop talking, put on some time for you to work on this page. I know you guys are sharing in the chat kind of what you do, but continue to do that sharing because you may inspire someone to change something up so that it works better in their life. And then I'll be back to check in on you in just a few moments. right. I said, drop what you're loving in the chat if you want to share share with us. I always love to see what folks are up to. Maybe they've discovered a new recipe or a new game. I love it, love it, love it. So drop that in the chat. I know I had the same question, Corey, for Joe Ellen. What is Play-Doh Q? We need to know. I guess I need to look it up on my iPhone. So before we leave, I do want to take a few moments to take a look at those weekly spreads, because it's kind of fun to see how folks set those spaces up in their journal. And so here are just some examples from our community of how they section that off. Somebody has used that one thing. I've seen so many people say, "What is that one thing box for?" And it can be, anything you want it to be. But I, see this person is putting their work schedule there up in that one thing box, just that could be a word of the day, it could be, a reflection, but then their to-do list is there, and they put their meal plan with a little daily prompt space. Um Again, some spaces for just that daily journaling. Here's another couple of pages from folks, divided out. What were your top three things for the day? Self care, work, your daily affirmation, tracking steps and hours. So, getting this whole big picture of what your week looks like. It's more of a reflection rather than, necessarily planning that whole day out. You're kind of, looking at that. We've got the one that's next to us. I love that question. That end of day. How was your day? Just a quick little journaling prompt. Here are some more examples from you awesome people. So mine tends to look like the one in the middle, a lot of to-dos with little boxes to check. I love checking off boxes, y'all. But working in your affirmation. Here's that section on the on the left there, the six most, like those six most important things of the day. And prayer, reflection, and exercise, a to-do list, the highlight of the day. Look at the right. I guess like the second box that they've written in there is surrender. What are you letting go of that day? Very powerful, powerful stuff. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing those. We would love to see your planner set up, and it doesn't have to be just after the setup. You can do it like as you're wrapping up your week. Let us see how you worked those spaces in your journal. We would love to see that. There are QR codes for you to refer a friend, and you will get $10 and they will get $10. We are still running that promotion. When you upgrade to an annual subscription, if you're able to do that, you will save a ton of money. And I've been saying use that money to treat yourself to stickers. And then you will also be receiving a follow-up email about in a survey, but you can get the survey link there on that QR code. And we do value your feedback. A lot of the changes that happened in our journal in January with some of those page setup things happened because of feedback from you. So you might not see it right away, but it was definitely user inspired. This social, as well as nearly 800 other socials, can be found in our private YouTube link. Maya is dropping all those amazing chats in or links in the chat so that you can go and rewatch anytime you want. I know sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I'll go look for a journal prompt one from, a previous theme that we had. And I'll just kind of sit and go through that and just journal my thoughts with one of the facilitators. So if you are having, Susan, if you're on your phone, you might not be able to copy those links. I know that there has been an upgrade in Zoom and some things changed. So hopefully, you can get on a device. You're on your computer and you're not able to copy the. I just would say, hover and highlight and click copy if you can. Or if you want, you can go to Sonder Club and ask for the link, and those of us who have it can drop that. So yes, or screenshot. There you go. That's a great suggestion, but it's tricky. The there was an update several weeks ago, and folks have been having trouble with those links. So I'm sorry. And Georgette is reminding you that you're going to get that after social email that will have them. So, Sonder family, thank you for hanging out with Maya and me as we set up for a new week of a new month. I'm so excited. Y'all be safe over this Independence Day time. I hope you get some downtime. You get to enjoy your family and friends. I'll see you, well, actually, tomorrow morning. If you come to another setup, I'll be doing Monday morning. Loved hanging out with y'all. Y'all be safe.
Ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon. God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song. My daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene. I know when I have children, they will know what it means. And I'll pass on the things my family's given to me. Just love and understanding, positivity. We could change this whole world with a piano, add a bass, some guitar, grab a beat, and away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show. No university, no degree, but Lord knows everybody's talking about exponential growth and the stock market crashing in their portfolios. While I'll be sitting here with a song that I wrote, saying